Girls are so boring. Well, hello, hi, it is me, it is I, Motel Didi, you're Khadi on the internet, and we are back. We're back down here to have a chat about the Real Housewives of Abuja episode 4 and 5. I'm gonna try to double bill them unless I feel an episode had enough meat on it for us to chat about. You guys will get them like 2 episodes per view. While you're here, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let your people know about me. I think we are 20 subs away from 300. So please let your 20 friends know about me so we can get to 300 so I can be like, oh, something is actually happening here. Look at us. I do appreciate the 280 of you that are here. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. These girls are a snooze fest. Okay. They are not having a first grade season at all, and I actually don't give a shit how anybody feels about me saying that. I don't care if you invested in them for reasons unknown. I mean, really, because I can't identify one reason why you would be so drawn. But let's get into it. I will try to make this fun. Tutu Pie is hosting the girls on a little staycation. The house looks beautiful, which is everybody stationed for this period. I think it's a weekend or what have you, but it's like a 3-day period. She said in the group chat that if you're late for the trip, you will be made to share a room. Like the last two to arrive will essentially have to buddy up and share space. And so Princess was right on time, if not super early actually, because Princess was not trying to share a room. And then we had Comfort and Arifa arrive, and then OG and Samantha obviously arrived last. The Samantha is like bland broth, like the kind that like it's too late to save it. Like no amount of you trying to season at the end there is gonna bring any flavor here. Like that's just it. Like the broth is bland, have at it. Like, but it's cute to look at. Like it's pretty looking broth. The veggies probably look all vibrant and still have a little bit of a crunch to them, so they're not completely dead. And then you eat it and you're like, did they forget to season? And there's nothing I hate like trying to season at the table, like trying to season your meal as you eat. I'm not trying to pour like salt on like food that's supposed to be done. That's Samantha. That's how I fucking feel about her. Just bland broth, like bland. Okay. Right. OG arrives and she apparently arrives with the +1, but she was not supposed to have one. At some point when everybody trickles in, they get situated and stuff. Tutu goes around, she's the host, to see everybody in their spaces, to welcome them as a good host does. But apparently she was just sussing out, their rooms and stuff. Goes back to her room and starts throwing a tantrum, and everybody starts to hear the tantrum happening all around the house, and it's like, what the hell is going on? To which they learn that Tutu's throwing a tantrum because her room is not as cute. And it turns out she actually likes Comfort's room, so then Comfort offers to have her come stay with her for the weekend. And she wins and she goes. She would not have heard a fucking word from me. I would have ignored that tantrum. I would have closed that door and napped, right? Like while she naps, it's a good moment for me. Like while she throws a tantrum, it's a good moment for me to nap. But she does that and she wins. Tutu seeming the most authentic and genuine on camera. The novelty of like the camera. She's obviously aware of them. They're filming, they're shooting, but she seems to know how to show up in scene without having to put it on. And I am finding her to be the most comfortable to watch. Her, Arifa, and Comfort actually, they seem to just relax a little bit more. Princess just plays this loud ass role. OG's trying to be Mother Teresa. It's fucking annoying to me. And Samantha is not even really there, right? Samantha is just not there. Right. Tutu throws a lingerie party for the ladies. Everybody comes dressed accordingly. OG doesn't dress like the other ladies. I am not sure if it's a cultural thing or if it's I don't want to project because I have issues and my mind immediately ran to, this is a like a woman in a larger frame. Everybody at this party is much smaller than her. I can imagine her feeling like, I'm not trying to be dressing in the most, like, you know, sexy, revealing type things with all these women who look like this. But that's me. Like, that is a me thing. To be fair, if I'm in a room of women I already know and I'm comfortable with, I will dress a little bit sexier. But like, if it's like a group of people like this, there are cameras around, my body's not typically celebrated, I'm having to sit and share space and try to get to learn these women, and we're sitting on the floor, maybe I would have been as reserved as she was. She literally wore like a frilly nightie, very grandma, came through and she's like, oh, I thought you guys said slumber party. No, girl, you heard them say lingerie. You heard them. They said that. Everybody looks good. Like, everybody actually looks really, really good. They sit down to have their thing, and then we never get to see OJ's plus one. So I don't know if the plus one was turned away, but it was like, no, but my princess went to gossip about this with Arifa that, oh my god, apparently OJ brought a plus one and she was late. So how did she know? OJ said she thought she heard that she could bring a plus one. I don't know what goes on in these things where people are inviting plus ones. It keeps happening. The Real Housewives of Cape Town, Loveline kept bringing people. It's the most odd thing to me. Is it production just trying to like throw something there and see how it unfolds? Or are people genuinely, I could never show up with a plus one having not made that confirmation. Hey friend, is there room for one more person? Okay, that's not in your budget. Can I cover their head then so that I can bring this person with? Maybe it's a larger group of women whom I'm not comfortable with and I sort of need like a buffer or somebody that I'm more relaxed with that could ease me into the situation with these new women and what have you. So it's not like I don't understand the reason in wanting to bring somebody to just make the situation a lot easier, especially if you feel like everybody already knows each other to a degree, which isn't the case here. It's a production, people are filming. How do you know production has made accommodations for this person? So I'm assuming production just does these things because it makes no sense to me. Like the out of the blue plus ones make no sense to me. Okay, OJ is dressed funny for the party. Tutu and Princess tell the, oh yeah, Tutu and Princess get to talking because I think they were a lot closer in their younger years. They were party girls. And they start telling the stories of how they would sneak out to go and have a good time and all manner of things. It's nice to see them having a good time about this. OG is, oh yeah. I took a lot of issues with OJ through these 2 episodes because I just thought she would start to show up, you guys. She's so annoying to me. She's annoying, she's cringe, she's disappointing, and she's sad. She's especially sad. She's all of those things, but she's sad. And I wanted to like her. I so much wanted to like her, but it's like, are you a people pleaser, or did you just go throughout life having to put up an act? Because when you show up as your authentic self, people don't receive it. It's the constant accents and the constant humming and singing of things. I don't know if it's a nervous tick and it's something she does to pass the awkwardness. She just sings the thing. You know how Oprah is like, you gotta go, like she always, when she introduces somebody, it will be like Michael Jackson, like a whole thing, but like she will, it doesn't turn off. We're never gonna meet this woman because I'm not sure she's met herself. I can't do it. Samantha talks about failed girls trip. We know these, right? You sit down with a like large group of your girlfriends, a friend of a friend of a friend. Maybe you're close to just the 2 and they have other mates that you're cool with. Y'all plan this trip. Oh, you should. Oh my God, let's go to Mars, girl. Let's go to my pretty. And then when it actually comes time to follow through, nothing happens. So, you know, Bland brought Samantha is telling us about how she's planned a girls trip. So she really loves being here at the slumber party. She likes being here. It's a good moment for her because she's always wanted to do a girls trip and she's never had a new experience for her. It's so fun. The trips that she's been on, they've tried to plan. The things are falling through. Everybody knows this. Like too many blacks spoils the trip in that the trip doesn't happen. And with everything that just happened with like Shanquella Robinson, the lady who passed away in Mexico or was murdered rather allegedly by her maids allegedly. with everything that's been happening, I'm seeing a lot more discourse online of like people going on groups with people whom they thought they were friends with. The other thing I've realized about us is that we don't maintain friendships, and maybe I was friends with a person in high school and I knew them then, but they've gone through so many things in between and I'm not sure where they are right now. Maybe we are, closer to 30 than we are from being the little girls we were in high school. Or we're even just in or it's even 2 years after and somebody else is doing financially better than another person may be in a depressed state or whatever, and then we decide to link up and do a little see each other again, but we're not the same people that we were. Nobody's necessarily a bad person, but we're in different places and we find ourselves clashing because we haven't been around each other enough to know what this one's trigger is. So I'm seeing more discourse around like, I don't want to do girls trips anymore. Girls trips aren't the problem. Going on trips with people whom you've not been close to in a while and you don't know how they behave when they're intoxicated, what their tolerance for liquor is, how they behave when men with money show up. These things are important. Not knowing these things, or even if it's better if it's like a group of people and two people are really close. These two you guys know each other. This one is a cousin of whomever, but you have your mate there. Hence the +1 thing I was telling you about. Because maybe the package is cheaper when you guys go together, and maybe you do just want an experience with other women and stuff. People want that community, so I wouldn't be discouraged to not go to like. I'm also like Samantha. I've never been on a girls trip because people's monies don't come together at the same time. Then there's also the issue of like life being structured the way it is, where the holidays are around this period and you find that other people have family obligations, their weddings that are happening, funerals, like, so every time you try to put something together, a quick little getaway, like a staycation just like this one, you would think this is doable. Me and my bitches have been trying to put this together for like I don't know how long. Two of my guy mates are always like, no, the one, friend, you know yourself, please, like, don't even start. Oh my god, I think we should totally just like get away for like a weekend or like something, like leave me alone, like don't leave me alone, please come and see me like you always do, I love you so much. But like I'm saying, like there's no the money, and the other things, like the money's not there. But the other thing that seems to be happening on these trips is that other girls show up. This girl was trending on TikTok after she shared her story of having gone on a trip with a girlfriend she used to be close to, but she moved away. But not a long enough period for it to be like, we're not cool no more. So they planned to meet up in Miami or something. And it was a mess. People do show, like I don't know, we were not raised the same. People show up to trips not having their shit together because they just figure things will work themselves out. Or girls who think they're pretty, like there'll be a rich man, I'll run into a rich man at the club and he's gonna think I'm everything and he's gonna like float me a band or 5 and I'm gonna be good. Because you just so badly want these experiences. You want the Instagram pictures and stuff. I know of a group of girlfriends who've also gone to, personally know, a group of girlfriends who've gone and one of them didn't have money to see herself through the trip, to really carry her weight and stuff. And it made for a very unpleasant trip for her because and everybody else, because now when people are trying to buy things and whatever, she gets antsy because she doesn't have the means to purchase these things. But it's like, when you left the house, you knew you didn't have 2 coins to rub together. Like, so what is, anyway, we move. Tutu invites a sex therapist, and apparently this person is well known, but not as a sex therapist, but as somebody who deals in like aphrodisiacs or something like that. Jaroma, I think, is what they call her. She's big on Instagram. I think she says she's 1.3 followers and stuff. They do this like whole, like as a montage or whatever, but they give her a whole package. We see all her controversial trending headlines. We see her make her entrance. But it's such a boom. Like, it's such a letdown when she enters the room. The ladies are so underwhelmed by her fucking presence. Like, she walks in and they don't receive her with this like, oh hey girl type thing. The host herself also wasn't like hyping her. So I suppose she allowed the other ladies to continue in their whatever perception they have of her from her online persona. Oh god. ideas they have of her dominated the room, right? They're like, oh, this is that. I understand, like, Morolong, the girls that's always in the blogs, the go-go dancer girl. If she showed up in it, I'd be so drained. I wouldn't understand why somebody's putting me in the same space as this woman. On top of that, her to come and educate me about something. Bro, fucking what? Anyway, she arrives, she sits down, she writes her resume, and as she's talking about, cause like Tutu was like, no, introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are, in case they don't know. She's like, I'm Jaroma, my real name is whatever it is she says, but like in 2015 I trained it and it's now grown into this big brand, and this is what we deal in and stuff, and I feel like I'm the most bullied person online on the African continent. To which from the side you hear Princess say, well, you're controversial, and she takes it and runs with it. Jaroma takes it and just runs with it. Oh, so you're saying it's okay for me to be bullied? Like, you're saying it's okay? And then they do this back and forth for no fucking reason, none that I can, not a valid one anyway. They do this back and forth, and it's a whole thing. And then at some point, because I can't keep up with what they're saying, because they're just talking over each other. But at some point, Barkamang, Princess says to her that, no, you're just talking rubbish. No, rubbish is not a swear word. I swear, y'all have heard me up on your say, like, swear. Rubbish is not a swear word. And to which she's like, Jaroma's like, well, you're not educated if you have to reach for, like, swear words, if you need to cuss me out in order to, like, make an argument. That was reaching. I understand what you're saying. It's like, if we're talking, it's like the popular girls in our blogs, not popular, the online girls, the go-go dancer girls, who who whatever. I don't find their form, they can't read. The girls cannot read. They just swear. Or is it even swearing? They just name body parts. Like, they just start naming your privates. You know, it's like, are we doing head, shoulders, knees, and toes? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, do you know how to read, or you fucking don't? Because move aside for those of us who know how to. Like, you understand? So if you're in an argument with a person and then they start doing that stuff where they just start swearing at you and calling you, like, naming your body parts and saying all manner of things, like you're this stinks and you're, it's like, girl, oh, this is such a bore. It's a snooze face. Like, reading actually requires some wit and creativity, and you clearly have none, or tact, like, go away. But that's not what happened here. Rubbish is just, like, if you're talking shit, then you're talking shit. I'm not saying you're shit. I'm saying, like, you're talking rubbish. Like, you really are. Like, it's trash. Like, what even are you saying? Like, they get into their back and forth, and then she then goes and accuses Princess of, like, oh, when I got married back in 2018, you went and tweeted that my marriage was staged. Hi, now Princess is confused. Me, Princess, I said that. This is the one time Princess was allowed to yell, because Princess didn't say that. Kalako, do you know what babe Jaroma is trying to say? Jaroma is trying to say, like, as a country, or like as the people who follow me when I trained it, everybody accused my marriage of being a stint. But you personalized it. You made it seem like Princess went and tweeted that Jaroma's marriage is fake. Like, Princess didn't do it, and like she keeps trying to be like, but me, like, when did I didn't do that? Like, what are you doing? And you maintain, and only at the end do you say, and then you out of all of this, you want me. This was my first time being introduced to this person. I must think you're non-controversial. You know you are controversial, and no, that is not giving you room to be bullied, but you are controversial. Like, you are. I find that we want to have our cake and eat it. You want to build an empire, profit off it, off of controversy that you, like, contrive and put together. You're Todd, right? You're Todd scheming and plotting and doing stuff to come to us with the bullshit. You're doing all manner of things for profit. But the moment you're to be called out on, like, you are doing this or that, then you're being bullied. I don't know, Sissy. I don't know. I don't know much about really the extent to which people go at you, so I can't speak on that. But if controversy is your brand, girl, prepare to get dragged. Like, I'm sorry. And not to be bullied, but prepare for people to question the things that you're putting out there too. And people questioning what you're putting out there isn't bullying. Like, bullying is, like, and it's honey legit, they're just not the same. And then the other thing about her, I'm like, I'm not calling her to shit. This was so unprofessional of her, right? If this is really a brand and I'm another person watching it, I'm gonna have like a large conference, maybe a wellness thing, and I have ladies there and I want us to talk about the line of business that you're in and whatever. You're not the person I'm calling, because the moment somebody in my audience challenges you, you do not have the temperament to deal with somebody not agreeing with you or saying, and I suppose you're on edge all the time because you live online, right? And you are constantly in defense because it seems like people are, because again, you've built your brand on that back and forth, that controversy. So you don't know how to exit the boxing ring. Your life is you being in a boxing ring. She then goes on to say that it's such a privilege, like they should receive it. I'm paraphrasing now, as a privilege that you're even sitting here with them at dates, because you don't even go out like that. You even attended naming ceremonies and weddings and functions and other things in years because you think you're God or something. Like we do this, right? Culturally, you know this. Like you hardly see a king or a queen or something like that, right? It's there not just for their protection, but to also maintain whatever like mystique and like whatever things we've built around them, like the royal house that I'm not from, but the tribe that I belong to. Typically, you wouldn't interact with the highest royal member in that family. You know, you would, they start rumors about them to give them sort of like an elevated being kind of thing. And in order to maintain that mystique about them, you can't easily see them. You see it in a movie as well. Like the villain, you're hardly going to get to see the villain on screen the whole time unless it's the last act. They build them up to be this larger than life entity, such that even when they come on screen, your brain is already prepared to receive them as this thing that they've built up, right? So she feels like she's doing that. That's not what's happening, in my humble opinion and observation. You may want to see somebody about anxiety. When you walked in, Jeremiah, and you sat down, fine, this is a new group of ladies and they're not like woo and whoo. So clearly you've surrounded yourselves with people who like, you know, kiss your ass and stuff. And you're now walking into a room where everybody's underwhelmed by you. So you're taken aback, like, okay, people aren't screaming to see me. What is this? I'm not used to this. Okay, you sit down. When she's writing her resume, go listen to her. The shortness of breath. She's taking a breath every other sentence. She's almost nervous to tell about herself, which is odd as fuck. Like if this is your line of work, by now you have a little paragraph like memorized in your head as to this is what you say, boom, 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 these are the selling points about you. But again, because you don't go anywhere, and the reason you don't go anywhere is not because you're cultivating mystique, Miss Darth Vader. No. You don't go anywhere because you start so much shit online that having to deal with people in person is anxiety inducing. All right, you go out, that thing where you did where like Princess said one little thing and you were like rah, like for no fucking reason. No, ma'am. No, it's giving anxiousness. It's really just giving, I don't have the capacity to deal with the outside world. At the same time, you can't stop being controversial online because that's now your bag, right? Your personality is tied to that. If you're gonna come out, you're gonna have to work really extra hard to shed yourself of this image so that people can get to see the real you. Girl, you don't even use your real name. No, it's not a mystique thing, sweetheart. It's a see somebody about that anxiousness thing. Okay, great. Her assistant Tandy, I don't know what her full name is. It's such a very typical Goody name here where I'm from. Not the area, the country as a whole. She sits down and then she has vibrators out. They're trying to have a sex chat. I don't know. The ladies are underwhelmed, yes, but outside of being underwhelmed, as African girls, and these are women of a particular age as well, different age groups, but like still, and they don't know each other that well yet, so they can't be fun and silly. They're trying to play it off as, who doesn't have a dildo? No. These conversations make us awkward and nervous. Like sex isn't something we openly discuss, like especially things like self-pleasure and stuff like that. There's still a lot of shame attached to that. So I'm not buying all of this. oh my god, I didn't come here for her to show me a vibrator thing. If you, okay, whatever, no. That's not why. The discomfort is, okay, fine. Maybe you were bored because you're like, give me something new or whatever. But I know us as African women. I know us well enough to know that not only are we not coming, but we're lying about it. Okay? Not only are we having to finish ourselves off, but we're also fucking lying about it. All right. It's off-brand for Jarama. Why didn't Jarama bring the stuff that she sells, the stuff that she's controversial for? Talk about those things. Everybody in their confused, like, I thought she does like aphrodisiacs. I thought she does. Why is this? No, girl. Bring us other things, fascinating things, like, oh, this like heats your pH this way. It doesn't have to be true, right? Because it seems like the whole thing is like a little gimmick. Like, yo, my... drink your pineapple in the morning and your lady parts will smell like, I don't know, fresh, or do that. Apparently the girls didn't want to see like a thing like everybody talking about how I don't need help. Okay. And that's it. That's really what happened. Jeremiah storms off or leaves or whatever, but she leaves. She's a guest and she leaves. And Tutu doesn't bother to go after her to see what's the matter. We learn at this thing that she refers to OG as her godmother. I don't know how that's come about. Episode 6, the girls go for yoga. OG's the only one that doesn't show up for the yoga. And after the yoga session, they're all sitting and having a chat on their mats and stuff. And they're talking about the incident at the party last night. And they're all asking Tutu, why didn't you go after her? And Tutu's like, I feel like it's rude that she stormed off like that. She probably owes everybody an apology, but everybody else is like, but she was your guest. If somebody storms off, you have to go after them and see what the matter is. But she doesn't seem to hold the same sentiment. Next scene, Tutu then links up with OG, and she asks her about, you know, how's she your goddaughter and whatever, aren't you younger than her? And then OG explains that, no, I'm significantly older than her. But anyway, that's that. And then they talk about OG's new project. OG says she's putting out new music again, trying to relaunch her music thing, whatever. I don't know what's happening, but sometimes I hear her go off key. She can sing. She has a pretty voice, but I feel like she doesn't have control of that voice. That's just what I'm hearing. Okay. And she says she wants to do a launch thing and she would appreciate Tutu's support, because Tutu's obviously a girl about town, and not in a, you know, loose way, but in a, she's an event girl. She knows the right people. She rubs shoulders with the right people in Abuja and Lagos, and it would be, having her affiliated with this project would do OG some good, to which she agrees and stuff. I love the fit. I love the blouse with the long collar. That I love the shirt. I love, in the confessionals, Tutu's wearing this green top. I love it. Love that top. It's so cute. Clean but statement. It's I love it. Anyway, Arifa and Samantha go for a gym session. Remember that gym session in the earlier episodes and stuff. I don't know why. Ever the conversationalists are a little bland broth here. They go for the gym thing. It's like trying to pull champagne out of a rock. Like, you might get some water, like, but trying to get Samantha to know how to hold a conversation is trying to draw champagne from a fucking rock. Good luck. Okay. Arifa's trying to ask questions, the kind of questions where it's like, oh, how have you been? Samantha, I'm good. Not asking Arifa back, oh, how have you been? You know, because the last time they had the drag race party, she could have asked Samantha about Arifa about that. Hey, you know, like, we met at the gym, but you didn't extend an invite, and that could have been a chat. Arifa asked, oh, how are your kids? You know, you miss your kids? Yeah. Bitch, what? This lady does not know how to hold a conversation, people. Why is she on my screen? Cannot hold a conversation to say her confessionals, I'm dozing off. Like, oh. Does not know how to. That scene was cut short. Like, Arifa is really trying to ask, like, sort of leading questions. Trying to get a conversation going, baby. Like, it wasn't working, Sham. it was not working. At some point they talk about their clothing lines and stuff, and Arfa's like she's working on her new stuff already, and then whatever, I don't care. Tutu Pie hosts brunch for the ladies, and it's like a tea party type theme. I feel like I like Princess's look, but for brunch her fascinator was just, I think I don't get it. Do you ever just get to a point where you are okay not being cool? Because that's where I am. I am very okay being basic and just like backward even, and I'm okay not getting it. I'm okay not being in with the cool crowd because I'm confused. That fascinator for brunch, girl, why are you acting like you're going to the Queen's Plate? This is not the Durban. Like this look, that drama, we love the theatrics for the horses. We love the theatrics for a nice polo. For brunch, yes, wear a cute little like decent tea party but girl, it's a whole thing, girl. Looks like it could get caught in all manner of things, and it's not even for the races. I'm so confused. I think it's just something they do out there. The bigger the better, like, and even when it's like, is this making sense though? I loved Comfort's look. She looked the most like tea party-ish for me. I loved Tutu's hat, gear and stuff. Her fit as well, I quite liked it, but I also thought like for brunch it's too much dress. I couldn't get behind it. Arfa looked a hot fucking mess. Love you, girl, but you looked a hot mess, baby. I didn't know if you were an ice skater, if you were on Toddlers with Tierra, if you were on Dance Moms, if you wanted to be some Moan Bows, if you were on a ballroom doing a cha-cha-cha. I didn't know. I don't know if you knew what you were doing. Come on now, Arfa. Come now. And then, who else? Samantha and Thing I laid for this brunch. But come on, Samantha and OG, I laid for the brunch, so I don't even care to talk about their fits. They looked the most okay though, from the top. I don't really even remember their fits that much because production didn't really show them because they probably took 10 years getting ready. Tutu says that, oh my god, as they chatting, Tutu shades Arafa that, you know, she's giving disco lights brunch. And Arafa took offense. I don't know why, because she's giving exactly that. It's very much staying alive. Okay. Tutu shares about her abusive relationship. Tutu then proposes to the ladies, because we're over here trying to get to know each other, what can we share about ourselves so that, you know, we have a little bit more insight as to how it is we behave the way we do and blah, blah, blah and such things like that. And then she goes first and she shares that she was abused and it altered how she shows up in life. You know, her guard is all the way up. The tantrums and stuff are also just her like yearning for that attention and affection, and to an extent sometimes just pushing people away because she's this guard up, and she gets rather emotional about it. I said when I was discussing the Real Housewives of Durban and I was talking about Nonko and her experiences, how, you know, women who go through these things and people really who go through abuse, you know, at the hands of somebody they trusted and things of that nature, that it really, really alters you to a degree that I don't think anybody who's never been could really, really comprehend. It seems difficult. So then Princess adds on. Princess is all the time to add on to a Tutu story, but is never telling her story. Have y'all spotted that? Because I have. She adds on, when I was starting this project, shooting for the Real Housewives of Abuja, that is, I told my husband that you're going to be part of the project, and he was very like, ooh, are you really going to go deal with her again? Because they're aware of the tantrums and things like that she does and stuff. So you have the energy to tell us these chats here, but like we learn nothing about Princess. Princess adds on to a story that Tutu already told about herself that needed no add-ons, tells us nothing about her, just tells us, yes, everybody says Princess is loud. What did Princess say about Princess? Princess says nothing, is my note here. Says that she respects everyone. Okay, girl, nice. This is not a fucking interview. Nobody's asking you for like your strengths. Okay. Samantha says that this is exactly how I feel when I'm watching her confessionals. She sounds like this. Samantha says that With me, it is what you like. What you see is what you get. I must get to know you first, and then I'll just go with the flow, and then you can see a little bit. Ain't no shit to see from you, girl. There are no more sides of you to see. I don't know what you're talking about. You're no onion. You don't need to be peeled back. You're just an apple. That's it. It's done. It's one layer. Like, ugh. And that's it. That's what we get from Samantha. If she comes back next season, if y'all even get a season 2, I swear I will lose my mind. That's what Samantha says. Arifa starts getting emotional. She cries about the fact that she's had to send her kids away for school just for them to get a better education and what have you. So she had to send them abroad, and she misses them dearly, and it's taking a toll. And she cries and stuff. We hardly see our mom cries, and it's sad to see that there's another generation of women also doing it, because everybody talks about her. Arifa looks so fine and put together and happy-go-lucky, and she's doing her pole dancing classes, and it seems like nothing is the matter. Khanti, she's living with this. I'm one of those people who can count on my one hand how many times I've seen my mom cry, and barely have I ever seen her cry. Like, don't think so. I don't know. And then OG. OG is sad to me. OG is sad to me. I think OG has showed up as herself, and people have not received it, you guys. She puts on accents after, even in her confessionals, she can't even just be herself. And then she puts on an act here as well. I just love everybody, and I just want everything to go like, and everybody thinks this cannot be real, but it's really who I am. Girl, we are all humaning. Arifa says in the confessionals, yeah, girl, that could still be you, but something has to ruffle your feathers at some point. When we are this, I think she's done it for so long, or maybe it's the cameras. She's so hyper aware, and she's building a brand as a musician, and she feels she just needs to come across as extra likable. I feel like she is probably like a peacemaker at heart, and she wants everything to, but it's over, like she's allowed this one aspect of her to overshadow everything else that could be her, and she's chosen to be this one thing. I'm just, oh yeah, kumbaya, like, girl, bye, okay. Yeah, she says she loves everyone, whatever, girl, it's giving world peace. I can't. Princess says nothing. What happened? Yeah, and then Comfort is another one who gets very wall up because she's older and a lawyer. She's not about to give people ammunition to come at her. In her confessionals, she says, I feel the only person who was really truthful about things that bother her, or something of her, or that's informed who she is at this point in life, was the host, and that is Tutu. Everybody else just gave like a roundabout type answer, and she's not wrong. And because she sat down, oh, she's such a lawyer. She let everybody go, and when it was her turn, she shared nothing as well, because she's like, okay, they're not sharing really. What would I have to go and share about? Exactly. In episode 4, we saw her in Tutu, and Tutu was making the rounds in the room. They were talking about the oils she sells, her scented oils and stuff. So we know that about her, but we learned that in the first episode as well. I think everybody's just on the show to launch product and do whatever, and then we don't get to know them. I don't know. Pool party. Barkama. Tutu has put together a pool party. The ladies all arrived dressed accordingly, except for Tutu. She says she's on a period, but you could still wear something that says pool party. She's in like a loungewear set. It's open, and she's wearing a top, so I guess she is in somewhat of a thing. OG shows up looking like she's not coming to the pool party. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. But then they're a little bored. The food is fine. The music is there. But nobody's getting in the water. Arifa's like, I don't know why people aren't getting in the water. Then just get in. You don't need them to get in with you, girl. And they take shots, and it seems like the party's gonna pick back up, but it's a bit of a snooze phase. I think it's because we're old and tired. Like, the brunch takes a toll, and then I also now need to sum up enough energy to do something else later on. I'm sorry, I only have enough battery left for one thing per day. We're doing a day event, or we're doing an evening event, and it better actually be a day event. Everybody showed up fully for the brunch. So I don't know what this is. So as that's happening, a young crowd trickles in. So I'm guessing Tutu invited her people that she hangs about with in town, about the town anyway. They look young. The ladies are uncomfortable, especially Arifa and Comfort are sitting aside like, these are godsons, these are kids. Like, these kids are so young. What do I look like trying to shake my tush with these kids? Like, what is this? The other girls are trying to mingle a little bit, but not really and stuff. It was a whole mess, and they're uncomfortable. Comfort says in her confessionals that, are we discriminating because in workspaces we deal with young people? No, you're not. You don't have a choice but to deal with it, and it's work. There's something that connects you in a workspace, and it's whatever law shit you're doing. You're talking about something. This is what connects you. At a party, I'm trying to relax. I would like to be around like-minded people or my peers. This is supposed to be something that like recharges me and relaxes me, and I'm not antsy like in a work environment. And this is not that. I want to play like my old school R&B. I've experienced this. Going out right now, the kids, ging, 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 everything. Everything is a fucking TikTok chat. I'm old. I don't want to do the TikTok challenges or groove. Do you know why? Because I'm not supposed to be there anymore. I'm supposed to be, I've aged out. It's me. I'm in the wrong place. Now these ladies were in the right place, but and then it's yo, get your hably. The kids and their hablies are out. They're looking young. Tutu's jumping on them. She's like, yeah, I love it. It keeps me young. Now young people annoy me, Shem. And I'm not even that old now. But like, I'm not saying they annoy me. It's like I did say that, but like, I understand. I've been there. I've been a person coming into my own, and like everything that's being made in media and whatever's targeted toward me. So I know the world we're existing in better than everybody else around me at that point. And that's where they are right now. And I'm now settling into things, right? I'm like, I like the song. I listen to the same kind of songs more so than not. Like when I'm on my walks, I'm playing my music that I've probably, like music that I loved in high school, that like the nostalgia of it all. And we're not in the same space, like life-wise, and I can't find them. I was talking to my friend before I got off the phone about men, old ass men, who tried to relate to 18-year-old girls. Every time I see an 18, 19-year-old boy, I want to help him with something. I want to ask if he's hungry. I want to ask if his homework is done. Like, I don't understand how I can begin to sexualize them. Like, I sent my best friend a link to this TikTok of this girl who looks a little bit younger than us. And she was talking about, oh yeah, you know when you're out with your friends, it's nice and everything, but sometimes you need guys. Like, you need, like when boys arrive, it does the opposite for me. When I'm chilling, I'm out with my mates, and a group of men start to want to, yo, yes, sis, ooh, I'm not here for your fucking shit, man. And then like, the quality of the conversation declines. That's what my friend said. She's like, no, the moment they come to the table, the vibe goes off. But then there are girls who love being around men. Like, they love that thing. And for me, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, especially if they're gonna be younger. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fucking hell. No. But that's pretty much what happened. The ladies, some of them rated the party, some of them thought the party was great. I didn't understand why these people showed up, but that's what happened. That's it, Chella. Bye, Yella.